Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with game number 2. Thank you for guys for waiting. I know there was about 10-15 minute wait, but Team Liquid versus Evil Geniuses for the upper bracket of the Weplay tournament. I'm joined alongside by Merlini, and Team Liquid down 1 game right now. Evil Geniuses looking to get a 2-0 sweep. Team Liquid fighting to stay alive.
Yep,
Merlini, we're good? Okay, alright.
Hey, how's it going?
Merlini checking his own compendium right now. Building that dream team.
So already different drafting strategy from last game. We saw Keeper picked up as 4th pick for Evil Geniuses last game, and Team Liquid will ban him out as the very first hero.
Yeah, although I don't think it was I don't think it was Keeper of Light that really made the game difficult. I really think it was the lack of initiating Suns. Maybe they felt Dragon Tail wasn't enough. I really think they want to hear like a Storm, a Puck, that somebody could jump in and break the team fight open in that last game. They didn't have it, and it was a really, really tough game for them. And right now, something's going to go through where there's going to be a Magnus, a Bat Rider, a Life Stealer, and I wonder, Team Liquid with the first pick, which one will pick up?
I didn't really like Team Liquid's draft for the lanes last game. Like, sure, Darkseer may do okay versus Weaver, but like Darkseer or DK versus Magnus, DK is not going to be able to kill the Magnus at all, and he can't really like roam to gank the other lanes that much. And for top lane, it was just like Nyx just crushing them. So I think Nyx is a really high priority. I'm actually just quite surprised they didn't pick up a Bane like we usually see to deal with him. Shadow Demon's okay, but not as good as Bane. And I think whatever team gets first pick, I know Liquid loves Lifesteal, and I definitely expect them to take first here.
Do you take it over Bat?
Oh yeah,
that's a tough one. I don't know.
That is really tough.
Yeah, I think Team Liquid is definitely making that choice as well. Of course, if you want Magnus really badly, there's that available. I think this is a fairly smart ban from EG. You get life, you get 1. We'll get 2 of the more quote-unquote OP heroes, and Lifesteal is going to be the pickup. I think Bad Magnus is just a great follow-up.
Yeah. Oh goodness, I haven't seen Bat in so long. That hero is just ridiculous. That 70% turn rate reduction just makes all your heroes move in slow motion. You're pretty much just like stunned while you're turning around. Yep. That's a ridiculous thing about it. All you need to do is like press your Q button, slap on that instant cast, almost instant cast sticky napalm, and everyone's just like, oh, I can't move, I can't cast spells, and it just totally messes with your team, and no one can change their spells properly. No one can like run away or do anything. Bat Rider is just one of the most absurd heroes in the game.
Yeah, I think one of his more underrated aspects, the fact that he could hide in these awkward spots and then Firefly over behind tree lines and suddenly come out of nowhere. Especially with the help of Blink Dagger and Force Staff, it really makes it so difficult to actually protect your, let's say, tier 2 towers in the mid game, because it's so easy to initiate from all angles. Literally, he can come in from every single angle. So no surprise, Bat Rider is going to get picked up here by EG. I wonder if Manbolt's going to be playing that as the long lane, or will Demon be handling mid? We haven't seen solo mid Bat for a long time. I think last time I was asking you your thoughts on whether Bat should be going mid, whether he should go for the quick jungle Bat and then get the quick blink. I think there's merits to both of them. Bat definitely can win the lane, but I think what we kind of agreed upon last time was he could win the lane, but he doesn't really get you those kills as easily as you want.
Yeah, I think he can just own some of the weaker solo heroes, and maybe if it's like a very specific scenario for maybe perhaps like against a TA, you want to put that Bat Rider middle, but you can, I think putting him in jungle is usually better. The thing about Bat Rider, he's such a flexible hero. You can put him off lane, you can put him solo safe lane, we've seen him in triple lanes, you can put him in the jungle, you can put him mid, you can just put him everywhere. And it's, again, the hero is just absurd. So we see a Bane pickup, and I think it's just smart by the way. I have no clue why Team Liquid didn't pick Bane last game, but again, they had no solution to Nyx, and their triple lane just got destroyed because of it. So Evil Geniuses will wisen up a little bit and take Bane as their second pick.
Now, last time when we see Team Liquid go up against the Bat Rider, they had something spicy up their sleeve.
The Slark?
The Slark. It does actually debuff Lasso. I've tested it. I asked people about it. It does debuff Lasso. So
and that napalm.
And the napalms that does. You're talking about how OP those things are. So the more interesting matchup is that when there's a Bat Rider on the field, your magic stick charge just goes crazy. And for Slark, that's a huge part of his survivability. Team Liquid have practiced it. Team Liquid have made it work before. So I'm heavily looking forward to a Slark pickup. Although if they don't pick it, well, you know, what can you do?
Yeah, and it'll take off like most of Bane's spells too.
Sure.
It'll take off Nightmare, Enfeeble, and Fiend's Grip. But
I'm not sure if it takes off Enfeeble. Enfeeble is like the herpes of debuffs. Like, it just never goes away. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's similar to like Napalm. Like, if you can't BKB or Rage out of it, but you can still Slark debuff it, especially with like the recent patch. I think they buffed it to like remove some of the stuff that was actually supposed to remove. But I think if Evil Genius has done their homework, they can just straight up ban Slark in the second phase.
Sure. Magnus, by the way, still in the pool. Nobody gives a damn. And again, that's another big surprise factor here. Maybe they are looking for the big initiation. EG, they could just pick up Mag here, right? It's just a great kind of teamfight ultimate that they really need. They have basically every hero so far a single target, and getting some AoE is not a bad way to go about it so far, I think.
Yeah, they have so many things to deal with Lifesteal, especially if they become Magnets. You can just lasso him, you can enfeeble him, you can grip him, and then you can RP him. I think that's just great. Like being able to handle Lifestealer is one of the most important things in competitive right now, just because he doesn't ever get banned out in the first phase for God knows what reason, but he's like almost always first or second pick, and you just need multiple ways to deal with this hero. That 6-second rage just renders most heroes useless for him.
So Weaver is going to get the ban out here. It does have a very good matchup against Lifestealer. Meanwhile, it looks like solo mids is going to get targeted. Storm, Puck, Quap, like you guessed. Although, I guess you weren't too happy about wasting all those precious bans on just solo mids. Like you said, Quap and Puck, somewhat of an interchangeable hero. The Initiator, the AoE machine, the Hex carrier in the late game. So, we'll see. We'll see what they actually end up banning out.
Yeah, I think a good solution to any of those heroes is just pick Nyx. Like, why not just take Nyx early, and then you can save almost 4 of your bans. If Evil Geniuses decides to ban Skywrath and Storm and Puck and Quap, if you're scared of those 4, just take Nyx in the first phase, and then you don't really have to worry about it. Nyx shuts down those heroes so hard in middle, it's incredible. Like, Queen of Pain can't move around and go gank, Puck can't do anything, he can't orb, and Storm Spirit can't jump around at all. And it's just absurd how good Nyx Assassin is versus those heroes, and I expect a resurgence in him, especially with the recent popularity of Skyrush Mage.
Yeah, we'll see. Skyrush Mage, by the way, always banned out. It seems like it's... I don't think it weren't at first ban. It's definitely a very, very good hero, but it seems like EG has been first banning out. That's why we're seeing some of the quote-unquote more OP heroes fly through. How important do you think it's for Team Liquid to pick up Boba's Clock? Boba's Clock was banned out first ban phase last game, and I think we could all agree that he's probably one of the best Clock in North America, and he just does a ton of work, just always finding the key hooks in. And I think whoever the Magnus player is going to have somewhat of a difficult time cut out for him, because not only will Rocket cancel the Blink Dagger, if you take too long, Clock will find you.
Yeah, I think what they really liked last game was initiation, especially with the early gem. You can't just walk in with Nyx, you can't just walk in with the Shadowblade DK that doesn't have a BKB. You can't do any of those. And then there are other heroes where Gyrocopter underfarmed, Shadow Demon underleveled, and a Nyx. So like what can you do? Oh, they had a Darkseer as well, but Darkseer you really want for counter initiation. So they didn't really have a good way to initiate. It just seems like even though sometimes they got the jump on Magnus, it often wasn't enough, and they just didn't have enough burst, not enough ways to start off a team fight the way they really wanted to. And I think with Bulba's Clog being able to scout out with Rocket Flare and get those really important hook shots on key heroes like Bane and Magnus with the Battery Assault and Cogwing is just going to be really, really good for them, and it will hopefully allow them to win 5v5s, unlike how we saw last game.
Yeah, generally, traditionally, when Team Liquid wins 5v5, not very wombo combo-esque. They just get ahead in the team fight with good initiation, pick off 1 or 2, and then chase all the way and get a 3, 4, 5 kills. So, and this is the playstyle that Team Liquid loves to run. And the hero so far is right there, like Merlini talked about. The initiation is key. Evil Geniuses looking, I imagine, for one more support as well as one more carry. The scary thing about Evil Geniuses is that they have, in my opinion, one of the widest carry pool. They still dip into things like Sven. I think Fear plays it very well. They of course all use all the traditional gyro, Life Sealer.
5 seconds remaining.
What are the more common? Lone Drift, for example. So
Weaver.
Weaver.
They like Weaver carry too.
Yeah, so I mean they're definitely a wide pool. It's actually very difficult to draft against Evil Geniuses, I feel. Also, Evil Geniuses is one of the few teams that have multiple drafters. Melk used to draft Fear, Demon, and they did swap it through, and they all run distinctive different styles. And of course we know Team Liquid does have Fluff and TC, and they've been swapping on and off. It's usually been TC nowadays for the past month or so.
And like with Magnus too, there's a lot more melee carries that are available. You can run PL if they really wanted to. Team Liquid does not have the AoE to deal with PL like at all. Nyx is really bad versus PO illusions, as is Rubik. Rubik just gets crushed. And although Shadow Demon isn't banned out yet, so I don't expect them to take a PL, but it certainly is an option. They could also run Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is really good too. You're not really vulnerable to a Clockwork Initiate, you're not vulnerable to Open Wounds Initiate, and it's just a really nice carry to have in this situation.
Oh, Nyx Assassin, it's going to be a key pickup. You talked about how he not only shuts down all those solo mids, but does he shut down this guy? It's not a coincidence anymore. It is a Slark counter pick against Batrider. Straight up, Mana Burn will hurt Slark a huge amount. He is one of the more mana dependent hero in the game, even though he doesn't seem like it, but he really is.
Shadow Dance taking 120 mana on an agility hero that doesn't have great stat growth to begin with is very, very painful. Aegies might actually be in trouble for picks. They have 12 seconds left on the regular time and 8 seconds dipped in the reserve. Again, we both know about a Slark pick because I think, did we cast that game together?
We did,
we did. So, I mean, it looks like Aegies might be a little bit... Oh, we see Phantom Assassin!
Sick pickup.
Yes.
This is a great hero, and a lot of players, a lot of viewers really underestimate what PA does, because PA has this bad rep of being like a pub star hero. But Loda used it to perfection the other day. He picked it against a Lifestealer, a Templar Assassin, and a Prophet. And really, people forget the fact that he has Blur. 35% evasion against physical carries. And guess what we have here? Slark is a physical carry. TC's Lifestealer is a physical carry. There's a ton of mischance. And until you go to the late game MKB, Phantom Assassin is actually one of the more sturdy melee carry that could kind of go toe-to-toe with some of these other very sturdy heroes like Lifestealer and Slark. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the only problem is she might get shut down in lane. If they do aggro, or if they do a triple lane versus triple lane, I think PA definitely has a huge disadvantage. Her dagger just like gives them tons of magic stick charges, and she does not do any damage early. That stifling dagger does like absolute crap damage versus heroes, and she won't have crit for a long time. Speaking of crits, I have to revise my compendium because one of them was like highest crit, like and I think the categories were in the hundreds. So if we see a successful PA right here, oh, she actually has a new set too. Look at that, the Penumbral set.
I don't know, that she looks like she is in Siberia somewhere being very cold. Look at that hood.
Yeah. I don't really like the set. It doesn't really fit with her theme as assassin, because as an assassin you want to be like wearing like dark garb, really stealthy, shadowy. But I don't know. We'll see. Like, I still think it looks pretty cool.
It's like neon blue, too bright, man. You see her coming a mile away. But JL's going to be playing that Phantom Assassin up top. Fear is going to be on the Nyx Assassin. A lot of assassin in this game. Demon going to be going mid. Once again, let's see if he's going to redeem himself. He landed at one large RP last game that put the game away, but let's see if he's going to have some big early mid-game RP as well. We'll be playing the support Bane as per usual. And last but not least, we're going to see Bamboe, long lane Batrider. A lot of tangles. He 30 seconds. He is the tango shop himself. Like, you could just like, hey, let's keep it clean. Korok, you need a tango? Then you go. Korok's got a couple tango himself. He's gonna be playing the Slark.
Yep. So I think good laning by Liquid already, because they know PA has to go into the safe lane. She's too weak to offensively try unless you have like the most godlike triple lane heroes. But even with like Coddle +1, it's still pretty difficult, especially versus Lifestealer. So they're pretty much forced into this defensive triple lane situation because of this PA pick, and that just makes it really easy for Liquid to match it up. Bat's not going to go mid because Magnus is pretty weak and not in mid lane, so that will give Boba a relatively easy time versus Magnus, and then Slark will be matched up against the Bat. Last time they did it, Slark tried to match up versus the Bat, but they really were just really flexible with their lanes, and Bat just rotated around and caused a little bit of trouble for Slark early game. But this game looks like Korok will be actually having the matchup that he so desires, but looks like Bamboe will be actually dragging these creeps around, so luckily Korok has this early stout shield pick, or else he would be forced to take a lot of damage that first wave.
Korok is going to drag this big wave into the camp, and this is a very, very smart play. You not only farm the creep wave as well, but you farm the big centaur as well. The mid matchup is going to be Boba's Clock against Demon's Magnus, and Clock actually does quite well, I want to say. Those cogs, I think he's going to probably even level him up, and he will be basically spamming those cogs top lane though. Yep, he's going to Blink Strike, and that's one of the, I guess, beauties of having a Phantom Assassin in the early game phase. Could use it as a little bit of survivability, and this lane is going to be meant to play very defensive. You can see that it's going to be early game Enfeeble, trying to get the damage away from TC. Mana Burn being selected here by Fear. They just want to survive and get to level 2 and maybe get a kill.
And again, this is why you don't see PA in competitive that often. She just has such a weak early game.
MSS gonna lift him back. There's just gonna be stun here on him as well. Beat this right click. He's gonna be low. He doesn't have Nightmare nor Brain Sap, so if TC was in position, he would have got the kill. Unfortunately, he was not. So yeah, passive game overall. And of course, I imagine that once level 2 is up on EG, they have a higher chance of killing. Sure, Stifling Dagger is not exactly the best offensive spell, but on the flip side, it's so spammable that you could, like for example, if you have a Storm Hammer on Sven, you miss it once, that's it, you're out of mana. On the converse, for Jo, you miss it once, you come back 30 seconds, 10 seconds later, and then you go again. So I like that from TA, and let's see if they're gonna be doing that at level 2.
And it looks like the other lanes are fairly even. Magnus with 10 last hits in middle as opposed to Bobo 7, and then bottom lane, pretty close to a wash. 7 last hits for Korok, and 4 and 3 last hits and denies for Bamboe. Looks like they are going at it right now. They're sitting right next to each other.
Yeah, I think being even, especially on this bot lane, is not exactly what EG pictured, because generally, like we talked about, Bat just owns any kind of solo 1v1 straight up. But Korok, not only is he extremely survivable because of his debuff ability with Dark Pack, and of course Pounce, he could just get away from any kind of initiation. Once he gets 6, he's just gonna start roaming the map, and you really want Bamboe to shut him down, but he's not really getting the desired effect. One of the again, often forgotten ability of Slark. Such a good hero in my opinion, and so far it looks like he's gonna be gone upon, but again, Pounce out, he's gonna be fine.
So luckily, EG has some sort of experience in the way of these creep pools. So something that we did not see last game, their safe lane, triple lane just got completely destroyed because they control the pool so well. And it looks like EG will again be controlling the pools fairly decently.
Well, you say that though, I mean, you look at Fairy's experience, he's got none, because every time they do this pool, it's MSS as well as Fluff and stuff trying, actually get all of the last hit. Now they're going to initiate on Jo, but it's hard to actually do so because he has that Blink Strike, so you can see that TC doesn't even want to waste that mana on the open, very precious in the early game. He's still getting the last hit through Enfeeble. That's a big thing. Meanwhile, though, in the jungle, looks like these two are tangled up. The Pounce is preventing Bamboe from flying away. Korok is fighting under the fire. He does have 9 charges on the Magic Stick. 9-second cooldown. That's going to force Bamboe off the lane. You see it here on Beyond the Summit stream, guys. It's a Slark beating Batrider, one of the premier solo 1v1 hero in the entire game. New meta, guys? Maybe. I don't know. This is pretty sick.
Yeah, he's going on him again.
Yeah, I think Bamboe's going to be fine. He's very, very tanky. And unfortunately, Stark doesn't actually have any points into Essence Shift, so he doesn't really gain kind of a long-term advantage. And Korok's out of Tango at this point. He has to fear himself a bottle or a salve or something.
I always like that team name. If you ever casted that team, out of Tangos, and they had a little Tango icon.
Oh, really? Yeah, well,
yeah, I like one.
Bamboe definitely not out of Tango just yet. He started with a ton. Meanwhile, it looks like we have Matt's Circle Mound being drawn on the top. Whoever that's drawing them, thank you. I think that was their 3rd observer.
Nope, not me.
Not me either. But yeah, this lane up top, you talked about how it's somewhat difficult for Liquid to get kills because how defensive the EG team is. On the same token, EG's not exactly leading by EXP. You can see Team Liquid taking the advantage of the same pool that EG did last game. In fact, they're pulling this back in here. And right now, PA is not getting any CS at all. Really, she's falling really behind.
Yeah, this is kind of how you expect the early game to go. Yeah, sure, PA might not do well early game, but she hasn't died yet, so that's definitely a good plus for them. And she has 13 last hits, which is not terrible. It's not exactly where you want to be, but it's pretty much the best that you can expect versus lane. And as the game goes longer and longer, PA scales way better with items and levels and farm over lifestealers. So like later the game gets, the more pressure is on EG to try and end this, or on Liquid rather, to try and end this game early. But it looks like they are trying to take this tower out right now. Leshrac only 1 point in Edict and 2 points in Split Earth. Usually people max Diabolic Edict just so you have this early pushing tower potential.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how much pushing they'll get done here. Looking, maybe they're going to prioritize a little bit more on kill. PA is going to be hard to go upon because of the Blink Strike. Maybe you go and beat us, but he's somewhat survivable as well. As long as nobody really gets out of position, I don't imagine anybody will die up at the top lane despite having 3 heroes. How's the mid matchup been going? 24 CS on both these solo mid. Cog's not being leveled up. I thought he would just actually mana burn the hell out of Demon, but Demon will just spend his mana on Shockwave, so it makes a little more sense. Looks like he's going to go for Battery Assault. The cool thing about Clock is that he's one of the most versatile hero in terms of skill build, every single spell is great to level up, and he's going to be going for the much less travelable role with the battery assault here.
So Bamboe doing some flybys, but he is just getting owned by that tower. Luckily, he did pick up a DD rune to refill his bottle, but I think he's actually playing it smart and not actually taking the fight to Slark. He's just pulling the creeps away and just forcing Korok to pretty much just tank creeps at the tower. So he can't take him into direct engagement. He was fairly close to dying a couple of times already, but again, we actually see a rotation from Rubik. We might see a first blood here.
Yeah, I mean, forcing Korok to tank creeps under the tower normally is a good thing, but he turned level 6, and Shadow Dance, OP passive regen, and I don't think Bamboe sees this gang coming. Yes, a lift and a tossback should be it if they get the pounce off. They do. Bamboe's going to try to Firefly away. Nice, actually. Big stack palm going to go against him, but Korok is going to draw the first blood. That pounce keeps you in place. A dark pack, a little bit of damage, more importantly the debuff. They get the kill. Great TP, and you can see that on the top lane, EG trying to play very aggressive, knowing that one person is down on the bottom. They have the number advantage, but really can't take advantage of that because it's so hard to actually go on Lifestealer.
Yeah, and I'm liking this Slark pickup. I mean, we saw it work the other day, and again, it's just really nice to be able to shut out this like top tier pick that is almost banned every single game, and being able to handle him in a one-on-one way is just really quite significant for competitive.
Yeah, you can see that Rubik's gonna stay right there trying to get another gank off. He does have 6 charges on the magic wand, and I think that would be enough for both spells. Here we go, pounce. Oh, that's gonna miss, and Bamboo flyby is gonna go home. Maybe he's actually gonna go for a kill. He does have his flame break if he really wants to go for it. No, he's gonna hold back. A little bit too dangerous again with the Slark so nearby.
So EG counters with the O rotation. Fear tries to rotate mid. Level 3 Nexus has them with 2 points in Impale. Demon does have his RP up and it's level 8.
Yeah, I think they might have enough to actually burst down Clock, but though with that said, he has 1,000 HP. One of the tankiest kind of solo mid hero, like if he's played solo mid, other Clock generally not the case. Top lane though, for Team Liquid, really can't get anything done considering that Rubik's there. But back in the mid lane, Blink RP, or Skewer RP into it, and they are going to burst him down despite the HP. Here comes TC. He wants to get a return kill. TP out. Allsprip is going to hit right on the edge. What a play by Fluff and stuff. And they're going to get the kill. I feel like losing a Clock is a lot less important than losing a Magnus, who relies on the Blink Dagger so much.
Yeah, and that was really clutch by Fluff and stuff there with that TP in. And still very passive game so far. Only 3 total kills, 8 minutes in.
And Bamboe though, he's gonna try to chase MSS. He does have the flaming lasso, and he's gonna drag him into low ground. Maybe the flame break's not gonna hit. If he did get the drag on the low ground, oh, the hook is gonna miss as well. If he did get the drag on the low ground, the double damage will almost ensure the kill. Boba, despite missing the hook, he wants a little bit more. That level 4 battery assault does a ton of damage. No, he's gonna back off. I'm surprised that Slark hasn't really joined. No, Slark, speaking of which, is already on the top lane. And he's gonna go straight on Beatus. Beatus is gonna fight his way out. He's gonna get 1 kill. It's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. Self Nightmare. I think he is gonna go down regardless. Pounce is gonna get the kill. Jail needs to run. He really can't fight this. Korok does a ton of damage. No points in the Essence just yet, but Jail using the blur to his advantage as well as Blink Strike. Barely made it out there. Boba does not have the hook just yet.
Yeah, I thought he was going to try to snipe him with a rocket, but it wouldn't kill him. It's only a level 2 rocket, so we see Boba switch up builds from game to game. This time he has 4 points in battery assault, 2 points in rocket flare, and 1 point in power cog. Sometimes we see him max rockets for that extra damage and scouting and the lower cooldown, and sometimes we see him max cogs for that extra mana burn.
Guess what's happening?
Korok still roaming away, and this is what I mean by mana dependency on Slark. Imagine a mana burn on this guy, he is gonna be somewhat ineffective. I wonder what his item set is. Last time when we casted a Slark game, the game was so short that we really didn't see what happened with his item set. Maybe drums is gonna be his big core item. Demon on the mid lane here. Arcane Boost finish, no go in his bank. Top lane though, they want a little bit more. Is nice, but if Fluff is just really clutch. A hook for the mini stun. They're gonna get the kill. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, looks like they have gotten 1 in return. But here comes Korok again. Shadow Dance already used. He's gonna have the debuff. Does he want to dive? He doesn't think that he has enough damage output. And here comes the return kill. Beatus does have the grip, and I do believe you can still debuff out of grip if you dark pack before. So top lane, they want a little more dive. Just no time for any rest. EG Fear does have the Spike Carapace. He will use his Impale. Looks like a teleportation is gonna come top in the form of MSS.
Yeah, Demon working for that casual bracer. We saw Hani work really well with that. It looks like that's going to be the new build for Magnuses who come. And I think Korok should probably still go survivability. Yeah, sure, he can dark pack out everything, but are you really going to be able to dark pack out a Fiend's Grip and Lasso and a Nyx combo and a RP? Like, it's just really unfeasible for him to survive through all that if he tends to get focused, which I think he will.
Top lane, they see Fluff. Of course, they have the grip. TC's got to get out of there. He doesn't. He's going to get Splurf, and the RP's going to grab a couple. Splurf is missing. Oh, he missed the easiest one, Fluff, but he's going to get a return here. RP's going to hit, but Beatus is dead. Spell being stolen. That's MSS with a patented RP steal. Let's see if he can grab one off. And here comes Jo. Jo, though, oh, he's going to get one kill. Looks like he's going to chase a little bit more wards. Slark's on the back line thing, so you can see that fear. Bamboe still on the run. Slark out of mana at this point. He does only have, does he have any wand charges? Has 5 left. They're going to really get Bamboe. Bamboe gets lifted up. They are going to get the kill on him. They still have RP available, but yes, they will use it. And Slark is the only person alive. He has to kill everybody. Jail's low. You can see most of the Team Liquid members are so damn low. Korok not going to find the kill. Ring around the Rosie. Boba's low. Boba's going to be dead as well. Finally, TC's back. Nice TP out from Demon. Jail will have to blink strike, but you're not going to blink away from this pounce. Double kill. Who was ahead in that exchange? I have no idea because too many people died. Too many people respawned and died again. I want to say maybe like Radiant.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty even fight. Well, I think this tower is definitely in Radiant's favor.
Yeah, and Korok survived throughout all of that, and of course this hero definitely needs the farm as well as the gold. He's got 2k gold. Do you go straight up Yasha and give yourself a little bit more farming potential, but more importantly chasing power in the fight? Or again, going for more stats like you said, maybe drums for a little bit more survivability?
I think drums would be a pretty good choice. I actually think S and Y would not be bad too. It does give you that chasing potential that you were talking about, and it gives him a lot of HP so that he doesn't get bursted down. EG using a couple of ults on the Nyx actually like really hurt them. They used grip and they used lasso, and then with a whiffed RP, they pretty much just didn't have any follow up after the Nyx died.
Yeah, and that's why it was allowing Slark, one of the most pub stompy hero, to come in without any stun to deal against. He just kind of ran through the entire team. He was lacking mana, and that's why he went okay for EG. But looks like we have Smoke Gang going in jungle. Meanwhile, though, you see a little bit of dive attempt going on the bot, but Slark's going to TP in, and that should be the end of that. Bamboe is farming in his own jungle. Firefly is out. Team Liquid, the two supports are just waiting for somebody to TP in. You can see that Boba's pushing this lane, trying to bait out a TP, defend the tier 1 tower. And it's going to come in the form of Batrider. They need an open wound. They will have it. No Blink Dagger up just yet. Batrider is going to get Splurf, and he is going to go down as well. EG Bamboo dying a lot more than he usually does. On the bot lane, though, Grip is going to go on Demon. Grip being stolen by Rubik. Demon catch that one. Demon will skewer it and invis out. Any chasing here being done by Fluff. Splurf a little bit out of cast range, but she's got to turn around. Impale Monoburn. Fluff is going to go down to the huge nuking damage. RP is going to come behind. MSS. No stolen RP for him this time. Slark also died in that engage. Didn't see the beginning of that team fight, but big win on the bot lane. Clean 3-0 kill in the favor of EG. They're going to work on the tier 1 tower as well.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties.
So checking the graphs right now, XP's almost back to 0 after that recent win in that team fight by EG, and difference in gold earned about 2,500, still in favor of Liquid.
And nothing too big to talk about. The big thing for me is that Demon is halfway to that Blink Dagger. He's got his level 11. But here comes the rotation from Boba. Observer War from the Dire side did see him, but he does have a Lifestealer infested inside. Anybody he finds is just absolutely dead, but there's nobody to be found. EG all out of there. Of course, let's go back to Slark here. So far, still no real investment in terms of items. Still holding on to his 2,400. Your guess is good as mine. We're talking about SNY. We're talking about Yashas here.
BKB. Who knows? Oh, BKB is not so good here. You could get Scotty too, but I think most people pick up an early Orb of Venom if they want to do that build.
Actually, I think he picked up an Orb of Venom last time we see him play this. Haven't seen him do it again. It's generally a very, very good pickup. I'm surprised that he didn't pick it up, especially against the Batrider from EG. And Jo Blink Strike for the creep, but he's gonna survive on top. He's sort of tanky, but will he actually make it out alive? Pops the drum charger. Will try to Blink Strike out, and he will just barely. Wow. 10 HP, he's gonna survive. The rocket's gonna miss just by here. Meanwhile, the grip's gonna be used on Boba. Does he have the RP available? 17-second cooldown. Meanwhile, Slark's doing some work with the mana burns on top of him. Instead, Bamboe is on the run. One more pounce is gonna do it. Trying to TP out. I don't think he'll make it. 2-for-0 engagement. They would have been 3-for-0, but really, really good escape being done by Jo.
Yeah, and very nice nice dark pack by Korok there, being able to get out of that lasso almost instantly after it was cast, so good prediction by him.
Demon still working towards his blink. 1,500 gold now. Slark finally has an item flying towards him, and it's going to be a Shadow Blade. Alright, so we talked about how mana dependent he is, and I'm sure Shadowblade definitely does not help there. What do you feel about this item choice? Definitely the chasing power is going to be added on, the damage increase, attack speed increase, synergize so well with Essence Shift. But you think this is the best item he could pick up here?
I don't think it's bad at all. Korok's been involved in like a lot of fights around the map, and I think he's probably gonna go Orchid next because
it's Korok.
Korok loves his Orchid, and those two items combined is just gonna make it absolute nightmare for pretty much any of EG's heroes, and especially with Bat not even being close to Blink, I think it's not bad at all. He can just find a lot of pickoffs and escape where he normally wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, the issue for me right now for Team Liquid, even though they're playing, they're up a kill, they're up about 3,000 gold, I don't feel that this lead is big enough. Earlier we were talking about that there is an innate clock in this game. PA, sure, she's not farming great right now, she's only got 71 CS. She's actually pretty high, she's leading at least her own team in terms of farm. But I'll talk about it later as Korok is right here, Bamboe, well, he is dead. I'm surprised that they didn't go for jail, but maybe against Flaming Lasso, Flame Break, she's gonna be the harder one to get a kill. But yeah, there's an innate clock, and I feel like Team Liquid is not bringing down enough towers. Slark got picked off on the bot lane. They're not killing enough towers, they're not killing jail enough times to really give themselves a comfortable lead.
Yeah, this game should take a huge turn for EG if they ever manage to get blinks on two of their core heroes. So we see Magnus just 100 away from a blink, and let's see, Bat says Bat just died, so he's still a really long way. They really need it on him. We see some action in the middle.
Yeah, 2-man impale, but Korok's gonna come right in. That Shadowblade doing so much work. Will Jail survive? He does blink strike away from the Clockwork Cook's gonna come in fair, taking a ton of damage, but the grip right under a tower. I think both are fully overextended by himself. Maybe expected a little bit more ally support, but Pounce, I did not know you could blink strike out of it, so maybe Jail's pick on PA is not that bad. Again, I talked about a blur interaction against Lifestealer and Slark, and so far she's been extremely survivable in these team fights.
Yeah, I still feel like perhaps like an anti-mage will still be better suited for them. I mean, the blink strike is like okay, but it's not as reliable as blink, and I think it's just a lot better early game.
Sure.
I mean, I hope to see something like huge empower crits, and then I will eat my words.
Yeah, you were talking about changing Compendium to over 1k crits, so we haven't seen any crits just yet. He's only critted for 300, but that's not without empower. That's not without any kind of big DPS increase items. We'll wait and see what the item choice is. I think something like a Mantis will be pretty good here. You could actually pop yourself out of the cog. You could debuff the slow, and of course, when Slark goes on you, you need any kind of mobility as well as getaway ability. So we'll see what he ends up going. You see that Korok going into jungle, farming away. He's gonna... Is this a basher? I think it's a basher.
On Korok?
Yeah, he's got a Belt Giant String, but looks like Fluff is basically dead. Impale's gonna come through. They're gonna get that kill. The question is, RP's gonna be there, and Shockwave, no! Lift him up. There's RP being stolen. I believe Korok's gonna leap out. Is RP gonna be used? That question, yes, it will be. Demon's gonna be dead. Oh man, he could have got the Korok kill. Didn't get it. Fluff and stuff, though, being left hung out and dry. He is dead. 1-for-1 trade. They'll take that trade any day. But I guess saving grace is that Magnus already has Blink, so getting that kill is not even that big of a deal. And this is something I talked about before. Having Korok's Shadow Dance ability will allow Team Liquid to sniff out any observer wards in the ground, and they should know that there is one in this vicinity.
Yeah, Mojo Storm started playing very well. Like, stealing RP is just a huge boost for them.
Yeah, he's gonna hold on to it. He's only level 9, so that RP is not gonna last too long. But I think he will have at least one more usage out of it. Team Liquid is gonna get some tower destruction. Like I said, even though Team Liquid is doing okay right now in terms of gold as well as hero kill leads and experience lead, it just doesn't feel enough because the impending doom that is known as PA will come eventually. Boba looking for the hook, he will find it. Another story though, Bamboe is just having, oh no, he's gonna make it out of there, especially with the help of Beatus, I think. Actually, maybe not, because you can never ever cast anything when the battery assault is on you. Like, Bane is gonna do this elaborate dance, and he's probably gonna get killed.
Yeah, and it looks like PA is actually going for an early Vlad's build, so we can probably anticipate her doing Roshan soon. I think it's a very good idea for him to get Vlad, since the other people on his team are just having like huge troubles getting farm on. Nyx working on his 4-staff. Bane just very, very poor, not even arcane boots yet.
Yeah, they lift
him
him
early
up.
Roche would be useful.
Toss speed us back. MSS takes this. Ooh, nice lifesteal here, and he's still survival. Haste Room meanwhile being picked up, but Korok jumps in, Pounce. That's gonna be killed, but Firefly Bat Rider's on the run as well. He's got the haste. The rocket flies in. Not gonna find him either. Batrider did make it out alive, but we talked about how OP Bat is. He doesn't feel OP at all in this game, and I think a lot of credit goes to Korok shutting him down in lane, and multiple ganks being sent to Team Liquid to actually slow him down and stop him. So Batrider not having the usual effects, and to be honest, in terms of a late game teamfight hero, he's not that powerful.
Yeah, we just haven't seen Bat have the effect that he usually does. And again, 20 minutes in, he only has 1100 gold. That's just like, Bat without Blink is just so useless. And if you can stop him from getting Blink until 20 minutes, then definitely pick Slark, because almost no heroes can shut Batrider down that hard, it seems.
Yeah, I don't think it was just a Korok. It was a good collective effort by entire Team Liquid team. I think Boba ganked him 2 or 3 times. MSS TPing down to set up those ganks in the beginning. So really concentrated effort by Team Liquid. And they're going to earn a tier 2 tower on top out of that one. The Shrek Edict doing a ton of damage. Just going for the straight Smurf Edict as well as a single point post over. The highest damage build that you guys asked for from your Shrek. Tier 1 push, not going to be successful here for EG. As the Bat really without, again, the Blink Dagger, it just, you're not even afraid of that hero. Oh, Fear is going to come right in. You'd have detection. They will know that somebody's nearby because Shadow Dance. Clockwork is going to find Beatus. Beatus, going to be dead. Rock's still looking for more though. He sees Demon. Oh my god, this Demon going to use that RP. He cannot skewer out of pounds.
Skewer out of that?
Nope. I guess Blink Strike is not really a jumping forward ability. It's not like a Force Staff ability where Skewer kind of is, so. Well, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, and I mean, Liquid is just making really good use out of this. Korok, I've seen Korok play Slark a couple of times, but I don't think I've seen it as effective as this. Shutting down Bat early game, like moving around the map, picking up kills everywhere, and only dying one time this game is a really squishy agility hero. I think Korok's just playing outstandingly this game.
Yeah, and he's gonna have 3,000 gold in the bank. I don't know what he's gonna be going for. Is the Courier delivering anything? Nope, nothing just yet. He sells something big, picks up the Aegis. Any luck of killing him twice is, I don't see that happening because, again, like you talked about, there's some decent ultimates. If they want to focus him down, they can. But once he respawns a second time, you're out of cooldown, you're out of grip, you're out of Flaming Lasso. RP, no disrespect to Demon, but he has been really landing good ones. Again, much credit to Team Liquid for pressuring him so much, making his job very difficult. So, with Slark doing so much work, it's going to be difficult for the Dire team to find the rhythm they need. Sure, there's a PA, and I'll be talking about the impending doom, but she's not going for big damage. She's going for utility item. The armor is nice for her and for the team, and it seems like she's going to be going for BKB next, but she's going to be critting for 500 at best, and I don't think that's enough against this team right now.
So look at net worth graph. Slark is on top with around 9,300. PA a very close second, sitting at 8,800, and Nick's a very close third, sitting at 8,600. Everyone else after that is pretty far off from those. Magnus and Clockwork just under 6,000.
Yeah, and the goalie is slowly being stretched out further and further. The objective is tier 2 next for Team Liquid, and I guess the objective for the Dire team is to find some random ganks, buy TA a lot of room, buy TA a lot of time, so she could rise away. And I thought she's gonna be critting for 500, almost 700. It's pretty respectable, especially without the Mithril Hammer being picked up. Ancient stacks, I know you're looking at it. There is none. Very unfortunate. I think they should be.
I'm looking at that.
They need to stack it more. They need to find JO to give him that comeback ability. If you get a full 4 stack of Ancients, that's 1,000 gold and a ton of experience.
EG rejoice! Bamboe has his blink 23 minutes in. That is actually a pretty big turning point. Like, finally he has his blink and he can look for some very effective games. We see a Nake's Bomb inside of Korok right now, so Shadow Blade and Skull Basher. This Slark's gonna be like owning people. He's been owning people already, but wow.
Here he comes. He might find Beatus right there. Beatus is so dead. Beatus trying to TP out. Good luck with that one. There's going to be a tier 2 tower, I imagine. Maybe Team Liquid's going to take it slowly, considering the fact there are multiple blinks now. But no, Korok says, I have Aegis. I'm going to go on top. Team Liquid should watch a position right now. Those 3 melee heroes could all get RP together, but maybe they realize that Demon is not going to come in.
We need to see some GGPA crits.
I think there was a Reddit thread about one of the stream matches that you played the other day. One of your opponents was just having the most godly PA crits ever. It was like 2,000 after 2,000.
That guy was on my team. It was awesome. I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, I think you were dead at that point. You were just watching, and he just won before. And I think JO need to channel some of that crits because his team definitely needs it right now.
very close to BKB. Let's see, BKB blocks almost everything, just not Edict and Clockwork Ultimate. So pretty good from that, especially with Clockwork building a Blade Mail. I think it's very essential that he pick up this item.
Well, there's gonna be Abyssal Blade coming up soon, I imagine, from Slark, so I think as soon as she picks it up, Abyssal is gonna be right there, and I'm not sure exactly how effective. The cool thing is, even though she's stunned, she's probably not gonna die with the innate vision as well as magical immunity. But we'll talk about that later, as right now there is so much pressure for Demon to land a huge RP, because tier 3 is being pushed. Flame Break, force that forward, trying to do a little bit of Ferrari action, I think Boba. Unfortunately, and not finding fair out of position too much.
Yep, and now here's where like Blink Magnus really comes into play, and Blink Firefly. Blink able to like lasso someone up that cliff, or just RP as they go up this choke. This is really where EG can stage their comeback.
And also, this is where heroes like Slark and Lifestealer is gonna have a little bit of struggle. They're good at kind of finding random pickoff when the map is very open. Now when you could exactly see where Korok is, Bamboe on the side. I wonder if they know. Now they do know. The Rocket's gonna cancel the Blink Dagger and Bamboe. Any chance of there's a gem on coming through?
On Bamboe.
Oh, okay.
Any chance of
you just infest your Lifestealer inside Boba and just go YOLO mode and hook in and just dive, or that will make you too clumpy.
Maybe if Nakes had the Aegis, I would say so. I would say that's a great idea, but unfortunately he does not.
Okay, so maybe that will be up to Korok's job to make that dive. Mana burn, Rage a little bit too slow, and they're gonna just try to Rage hit this. Korok's gonna come back in. Korok does have the Aegis, so he doesn't care. Bamboe Invis though, he's gonna pounce back out. So Team Liquid's trying to slowly siege this down, and that's gonna give EG a ton of time to find this opening that they've been desperately looking for.
If they get a hookshot on the mag, I think this game might be over. They really need to smoke back here so that they can't keep scouting them constantly with the rockets. This is really a huge problem, and them being able to get vision of their key heroes.
Korok is jumping right in. That's the YOLO mode. He does gonna expel the Aegis, but TC's gonna get hooked as well. Boba force staff himself in. He's looking for Demon. He wants to actually make sure he doesn't RP for as long as possible, so his team could do some work. But unfortunately, Korok is gripped up to tier 3, finally going down. But I think they have to back off. That was a great defense coming out from EG. And Team Liquid trying to force this fight. The fight's not over yet. MSS is going to get pushed back. There's a flame break, but there's a GG crit. Bamboe gets a triple. He might get a little bit more. No, Korok is already out of there. But yes, great defense. Fluff. I think Fluff is going to go down as well. Big crits. Here we go. Oh my goodness. 600. The Spitter going to hit, but that's a 4 kill and an Aegis kill. I did not think that Team Liquid will force it that hard, but they did, and it did not work out.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we talk about, like PA just scaling so well with items. The later the game gets, the more Liquid feels pressure, like, oh man, we gotta push, or we're just gonna get like one shot by PA later, and it's almost actually getting to that point. I'm really glad that she built that BKB in that time, because without it, I think it would have been a lot different. But like, Roshan's gonna respawn in 4 minutes, and EG has pretty good control right now, and like fighting like at this T3 and fighting close to the Roshan pit, that's exactly where Liquid does not want to be, especially without any BKBs on their team. They're just like really fragile, and like Blink Lasso, a nice Blink Lasso initiate now that Bamboe finally has Blink, or a nice Blink RP will just totally change the game.
Yeah, in my opinion, the X factor in that fight was definitely Beatus. What Team Liquid wanted to do is charge in, use that first Aegis, bait out a couple of spells, and then once Demon's being harassed by Boba, Korok would just run rampant in the base. But he respawned with the Aegis, immediately got gripped by Beatus, and well, no Korok CPS for about 5-6 seconds, and that allowed those GG crits to come out. EG smoked up, maybe trying to find a single pickoff and then go into the Roshan pit. Roshan pit is somewhat of a dangerous fight to take though, because there is Boba with those hooks. So we'll see. Oh, they're gonna find themselves Korok. Let's see if they can get that kill. It's gonna be close. They gotta blink. Oh, there's an impale. Blink lasso initiation. No, they were gonna get him though. Didn't need a lasso. Do you go into the pit here?
See, that's just nice, very heads-up play from Fear. Most people would go for the Vendetta right there, but not Fear. Fear knows that Korok is a good player, and he's probably going to Dark Pact and or Pounce as soon as that Vendetta hits. And that cast animation actually does matter against professional players. And him just stunning and giving him no chance to Dark Pact or Leap is just very good play.
Yep, and he knew that his rest of the team could definitely follow up with the multiple Blink Daggers. It comes to a little bit of tier 2 pressure. Not sure if they're going to get that kill. You can see Bamboe fireflighting, waiting to see a support being out of position. He sees TC, maybe a little bit too tanky to initiate. They have about 25 seconds to make this push before Korok respawns. Looks like they're gonna back off and decides to farm the enemy jungle. I love it. This is a good move. Anytime you find yourself in a position like this, you get a couple kills, and you decide to go back to your base, farm the enemy jungle, and make sure that they don't get that little bit of gold that they could get, and you pull yourself a little bit further ahead.
Yeah, and this is one of the very few weak points about Slark. He just gets owned by Gem. His ultimate and his Shadow Blade right now, just completely useless versus Gem. What are you going to do? Fear will Vendetta again, look for another pickoff on bottom lane.
And you talked about how the Bat Rider had the gem in that base defense, and looked like they're going to find some stuff fluff and stuff. That's an easy kill. He will use a Vendetta out of that one. Definitely every bit of damage you could get, and that's a free on fluff. They got to recognize that there is wards everywhere, whether through shadow dance or just through innate map awareness. They have to somehow get the map control back. They have to fight on the enemy side of the map, get a couple pickoff, and push into the base, because I feel like Liquid's momentum has been completely stopped in the last 5 minutes thanks to that big dive that they did in the base. Even if you look at the gold chart, they're leading by 10,000, 8,000 gold. It doesn't even feel like they're leading, just like how the map is being played right now.
Yeah, I feel like they need an MKB on their physical damage heroes. Lifestealer has an SNY, and Slark looks like he's building towards a butterfly with the eagle. So I could be wrong, but most likely that it's butterfly. And they just need some way to take this PA down, and it's just extremely difficult, especially through BKB. What else are you gonna do besides just miss, and then just group up for an RP? And like the longer the game goes, the more damaging this PA is gonna be with Empower, and with more and more items, she's just gonna start one-shotting people very soon. And Roshan is up in about 45 seconds.
Yeah, and let's see who's going to have the advantage. Again, you talked about how both sides have some big AoE initiations, big ultimates, and most of these heroes are very mobile throughout the map. So both teams should have the, I guess I wouldn't say advantage, but right now, for the time being, Dire has a ton of wards in this area thanks to the multiple ganks they did in the enemy jungle. So they should be very well prepared for that one. For anybody who's joining us, this is Team Liquid versus EG, game number 2, and EG's up a game right now, even though they're down by 8,000 gold. Again, I think Merlini and I both agree that as this game goes late, they should be able to take it just on raw hero potential. Magnus, great late game hero. PA, of course, one of the best. And these late game supports in the form of Nyx Assassin, as well as Bane Elemental, it doesn't get any better. Feeble's still always good. Nightmare always good in the late game. So I think it's looking okay for EG. If they could hold on to what they have right now for about 10 more minutes, then they should be able to do it.
Yeah, all they have to do is just not make big mistakes. And like if Magnus gets picked off without a buyback, that's a huge mistake, and they can't allow that to happen. Or same with PA. But as long as they play like relatively safe, notice there like 4 of them are clumped up right now, while PA is the safe farm, and she can just BKB out of most situations. As long as they keep continuing to play like this and control the map with some easy picks using the Nyx as they've done before, and or Bat, then I think they have this game in the bag. I think what Liquid needs to do is probably just farm up items and try and smoke gank their key heroes. If they can pick off Magnus without a buyback or one of the other important heroes such as PA, then they can control Roshan and they can continue to farm up and actually take some fights. This T3 tower on bottom is already down for EG, so again, one really important pickoff could lead to one set of racks.
Yeah, you were talking about smokes, and I know Team Liquid's definitely a team that loves to use their mid-game smoke gank. I just checked their shop, they only have 1 left, and Smoke has a 10-minute cooldown, so they gotta make that next one count. Kerr purchasing a Demon Edge, and that's gonna be some big damage.
See Korok pick up an Ethereal Blade, not a Butterfly.
I love it, I love it. I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna work against a TA, or a PA, especially with the BKB. I imagine it won't work, but if he gets a lot of agility, well, there's some shotgun. A little bit of a Morph-esque in a sense.
So it looks like they are huddling around the Roche pit. Liquid really just looking for a kill here while their team split up. Demon is still on top lane, so if they take an engagement right now, that'll be very, very good for them, and then lead to a Aegis subsequently.
Oh, here we go. Boba is infest up. There is MSS Gem. I was checking out if anybody had Gem. They need detection, because of course Fair will be looking for those solo Vendetta ganks. Boba looking for a hook right now. The rocket is not going to hit anybody. And again, Demon is going to be the most important target to find and initiate upon. If they find Demon, that's a free kill, and maybe a free team wipe. But like you said, he's being very smart about it, saving buyback. So making sure that look at how many people on the Dire team is saving buyback. PA and the most important members are saving buyback. Bamboe, fire flying up, scouting as well as looking for initiation. And both teams just in very awkward position. It looks like this Observer War has scouted out the PA, or scouted out the Batrider.
Yep, luckily they have a gem and we'll take it down. Looks like Bob was looking for a hook. I see him ping.
He knows Firefly is down, so the sight is not as much here on the EG side. Both teams being very, very kind of tiptoey with their initiation. Even though if Boba could jump in, the rest of his team is not that agile, especially on the 2 support, so they can't really follow up. Blink initiation here against Demon. They gotta kill him quick. If you force out buyback, you force out buyback, right? No buyback just being used. I think what they want to do is...
He has the buyback, I think.
No, as in, yeah, he's not buying back out. And I think what EG wants to do is maybe bait Team Liquid to start going on those Raxes. They lift buyback and go right in. But instead, Team Liquid says, alright, I'll just go into the pit. And he needs to buy back out now, Bamboe. And that's going to force everybody to back off in Team Liquid. So, still a big win. Now, if you pick off Demon one more time, then the game suddenly gets somewhat dicey.
Yeah, Liquid's very smart. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Kill that. Oh,
Clockwork Hook initiation against Fear. Fear 4-staff, Gold Scepter. He has a Spike Carapace. Oh, the Cogs is going to hit. A Vendetta's back out. Can they actually get the kill? Where the hell Slark? Slark's running in the back line, and they will fully retreat. It's a fairly long cooldown, the hookshot ultimate. Oh, but they're going to find one more. Bamboe cannot run away. And I think this is the opening that they're looking for. Jail's gonna come in, and he's gonna man fight. Is he trying to set up a big RP? Boba's low. BKB's already expanded on Jail. He's gonna get that one kill. Korok shotgun coming in against Fear, but force that back out. Is he gonna survive? That's the question. Fear got the Spike Carapace. He's gonna apply that sign. Korok out of mana at this point. Demon looking for the RP. Doesn't find it. He cannot find that RP. He really needs it, but meanwhile, the Jail comes back. He still is doing the huge amount of deeps. 2-man RP just only on one. Korok trying to do the damage himself, but Jail with the evasion, with the lifesteal, he should be fine. He's getting bashed though. Korok 1v4 gets one kill, looking for the second. He is gonna get the second kill. Boba buys back. He's looking for more temple or TC, looking for the open wounds. Does not have the mana. Korok's gonna get himself a triple. Nicely done, and I think the full base is open. Boba finds himself another kill as well. You gotta question the decision making for EG, because like Merlini said, if they play slow, if they play passive, they could just go for the kill. But as soon as Batrider died, they bought back and just went for it, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, all they need to do is stick together. First, Demon gets picked off here, or right outside their T3 bottom, and then like Bamboe gets picked up. All they really need to do is stick together, and Liquid will eventually clump for a nice RP, and then one RP will do the trick, just like we saw last game. Again, Demon just not really finding those. Oh wow, the Bamboe play.
Bamboe, the king of Aegis steals. He also saw a gem on the ground. Was thinking about taking that one, but.
Wow.
I'm just shaking my head right now, because he does it with every hero and any hero, even if he pays for it. But he has one of the highest success rate with Aegis steals, and how much does that mean for this game? Because you know that the Radiant hero, we talked about Slark as well as TC's Lifestealer, they're not that good at pushing up a ramp. We talked about how important it is for Lifestealers to have the Aegis, and he just go in, rage, hit those Raxes. Now they don't have that option, and now Bamboe could play mega aggressive, look for those initiations, and he didn't have buyback, so that's his buyback. That was a huge steal for EG.
Yeah, I think Nakes could have raged it. You really have to expect it. That's one of Batrider's greatest strengths. You talked about Firefly being really good at defending T2s. It's also ungodly around the Roshan pit, and being able to have vision into there when it's almost impossible to get it unless you're actually inside the pit is just huge. And Liquid's a smart team. They should be prepared for that and either preemptively rage so that he can't do the blink in, flame break, and just snatch the Aegis like he just did. And you really have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, TC definitely got a little bit blindsided. We're checking out the net worth, and the Phantom Assassin very close to Slark. And even though Slark is leading by 1,000 gold right now, I say TA is ahead because, or PA. PA definitely used gold a lot better as Slark, especially at this stage of the game. MKB is now completed, and she is able to drop out some huge crits, already hitting for 300 damage, and allows you to figure out the multiplier and the minus armor and magic damage and all that stuff. But 2 crits on the Fluff, he's dead. 2 crits on MSS, he's dead. So they gotta watch out their positioning, and the game's getting tougher and tougher here for Team Liquid.
This is just crunch time for EG though. If PA dies right now, game over. If Demon dies right now, game over. Neither of those heroes have buybacks. Jo just spent all his money on his Monkey King bar, and Demon spent all his money on that buyback that fight before. So this is like really crunch time. If they make another mistake, it's going to be game over. They've already made a couple, but luckily they're still in the game.
Yeah, you can see that they're playing so defensive, making sure that they are just staying in their base, nobody's gonna get caught out. I think EG right now needs a couple of observe wards as well as a sentry ward in front of their tier 3 on the bottom, because you never know if Team Liquid wants to smoke straight in and take a path in that fight. Team Liquid though, taking advantage of the fact that they have map control, it's gonna farm the enemy jungle. I think what they really want is look for another pick-off, look for another EG mistake, and go for the win. But EG is not going to put them on a silver platter for them. They're going to just stay in base and just wait for them to come, because they have the inevitability. They have that Phantom Assassin.
And it looks like Nakes is working on his way towards a Monkey King bar right now. He has Demon Edge as well as 1900 gold in his inventory. Still quite a long ways until Roshan, but it is worth mentioning because both teams are playing very passively right now, not wanting to make any sort of mistakes at all. So Roshan timer is another 6 minutes till respawn, which means 2 minutes left on Bamboe's Aegis.
So if you're Team Liquid, do you give 2 minutes of free farm to EG and say, alright, we'll fight you without the Aegis? Or again, are you dealing with a PA clock, as it were, and try to go for a push?
They're starving them right now. Look at EG. They can't find any sort of farm, and Liquid pretty much has the whole map. They can farm their ancients, the opponent's ancients, the opponent's jungle, their own jungle, all 3 lanes. They have the whole map open up to them. And yeah, sure, PA does scale well, but if you get like a sheep on anyone on your team or just like MKBs on your carries, PA is just going to go down regardless of whether or not she has BKB. Looks like EG will actually look to regain map control with the smoke. Again, they can't just sit inside their base. They're going to get out farmed, and yeah, sure, they have PA, but you still can't get out farmed that heavily. Look at Liquid right now. They're just farming everywhere. It looks like they will find TC.
Ooh, Lifestealer is Flame Lasso initiation. They're going to try to burst as much as they can on him. They can, and they will bring him down. Does he have the buyback? Yes, he does. So Roshan is not going to be back yet. In fact, Roshan very far away from back. And sure, that was the smoke, and that allowed them to walk out the base, but maybe the smoke came a little bit too early, I want to say. They're not going to get any structural damage. Those tier 2s are well protected, and if they really need a buyback, they can. So you can stay. Even Fluff doesn't care. He's just pushing out bot, pushing out the lane a little bit. Korok, same thing on the top lane. And here comes, I want to say, a semi-def push down the mid, but they could give up that tier 2, or should they want to defend it, they have Glyph and the buyback.
Radiant's mid tower's coming.
Yeah, that was a very important kill for EG. I mean, sure, they might not get a Rax out of it or Roshan at like a really clutch time, but still, it's very important to assert your dominance on the map, just so you need to be able to farm. Jo does need more items. He's pretty farm right now, Black King bar, Monkey King bar, and Vlad's, but he still died really easily last fight, and he is still going to need more items if he wants to compete with this super stacked Nakes and very farmed Slark.
Well, backdoor protection, tier 2 is not going to go down. Meanwhile, you can see that Equilibrium very far into the enemy side on top and bot, because Fluff and Korok has been pushing it. EG though, they're looking for a random pickoff here. And this is, you do not expect the enemy team to beat in this particular map. They see Korok mid, and if they get a kill on Korok, does he have buyback? No, he does not, so this could be a huge kill. No, instead they're going to go right on Fluff and stuff. This gang train coming out of nowhere. Will Korok take this fight? No, he's running for his life. Good choice. Oh, Flame Initiation against Korok. RP should be expended. Will they? Yes, they will. The Ghost Scepter gets popped, but they are going to get the crit off. And now Boba, unfortunately, hooks himself in. He gets a huge cog, but he's going to get crit inside. Team Liquid perhaps making a big mistake. MSS does drop a huge RP, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. TA blinks back on the high ground. Aegis used just possibly on the last second. Gems on the ground. That's going to be the second gem on Bamboe. The map dominance, like you talked about, I think EG has it back with Slark being dead for 16 more seconds. He does not have buyback. 200 go away, short of it.
Yeah, and again, it's just these teams really need to minimize the mistakes, minimize these pickoffs. Yeah, Fluff dying, not a big deal, but Korok dying with the gem, can't allow that to happen, especially with no buyback. This will definitely be the T2, and unless Roshan is up, nope, still another 4 minutes until Roshan. And pretty much at this stage of the game, is whichever team makes the least mistakes wins.
Yeah, and both teams have been making a mistake. Previously, we saw EG getting picked off one precise, fought a bad team fight, and similarly, same thing with Team Liquid. Team Liquid, though, once Slark respawned, his item is just so high. Oh no, Boba's gonna get caught out. Completely melted. That's 65 more seconds. I think they just push and go for the win right here.
Yeah, not having that gem, just killing them. Fear just walked up from behind and just stunned the out of position clockwork. Boba knows they can't defend this T2, not without Slark. I mean, he is up right now, but looks like, what are they going to do? They have a gem on the inventory. Looks like they're just going to go back to farm. So, not a bad choice by them. They're, I don't know, really pressing their luck since Korok is up. And losing a fight right now really could cost them Roshan.
Well, crit counter, he's critting for 1500 now with Empower and every buff. One of the more important things to keep in mind, that BKB will debuff that Empower. So if if Tough gets going, he would not have the extra damage being provided by Power once he pops the BKB. Looks like Korok running past the wards. Korok really wants that gem because with his Shadow Dance ability, he could, for example, pick off this one right here. Unfortunately, unable to do that one. A lot of wards being laid after they move into the enemy portion of the map. I really love this from Evil Geniuses. And there we go, he does pick one off.
Yep, MS says it is smoke behind him with the gem though.
They're looking for random pickoff. Team Liquid, what they need to do right now is to re-establish that star farming tactic they did just about 5-6 minutes ago, and try to regain their map momentum as well as gold advantage. Speaking of gold advantage, dropping down to 6,000, but really I don't think 6,000 at this point means anything anymore.
Yeah, definitely not. I think what biggest thing at this point is this Roshan right here. 2 minutes on it. This one will be the cheese too, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's the
so.
third one.
That's the third one.
So that's going to be like really, really big.
Korok, I think he's going for BKB. And normally I think that's a great item on Slark, but I don't think it really applies in this case. I almost want to say you want to just go straight up with Lincoln Sphere. I feel like that will counteract aegies heroes a little bit better, because BKB doesn't do anything against the crits, obviously the big factor, but more importantly Fiend's Grip, RP, Flaming Lasso, there's just too many things that go through it. Unless you just want to go straight up Glass Cannon and hope your team could help you tank, and you just go, I don't know, big crits or something. But
is this going to be a base race? They're both like they're both on the completely opposite sides of the map. Liquid pushing at the T3 bottom while EG is pushing the T2 on bottom.
I think the Dire is going to be able to push down tier 2 and defend. They might lose a tier 3. There's a glyph being used, and the entire EG team is back. They got the tier 2 out of that exchange, so very nicely played. EG getting a slight lead in terms of gold now. Again, they're leading. Team Liquid's leading by 7,500. In my opinion, EG's leading because they use gold a lot better.
Yeah, this is like the prime time for smoking, especially without this T3 on bottom. They could just wrap around and just pick off a key hero like Mag. Look again, he has no money for buyback. Like, killing him right now would just be huge for Liquid.
Well, the next smoke coming back for Team Liquid is in 2.5 minutes. And of course, the Dire does have one smoke available. They're going to pop it right now. And here we go, they will use Fear as the initiation weapon. Look at Fear's item, I haven't clicked on him for a while. He's had a Gold Scepter and Force Staff, he's now got an Ethereal Blade. Good luck, Rage. Good luck, well, I guess it's very easy for Slark and TC to debuff out of it, but it's just another thing for them to worry about.
Yeah, it's also really nice for debuffing your allies.
Sure,
in case
yeah,
they get
you can pop it on them. But looks like
Fluff's in trouble.
Yeah, Bamboe is gonna Firefly, give himself a little bit more extra sight. I think they want Lifestealer. Really, is a person that they want to initiate. Maybe it's gonna be on Slark. Fluff though might be the easiest target. One crit! Look at his HP. They do find Korok. Korok said, "Where's the RP?" They do use it on him. RP be stolen. It's gonna counter RP. But the thing is, how much damage can they do? You can see Boba as well as Korok life slipping away. The bash is coming through, but it looks like Korok is dead. Not sure whether he has buyback, but more importantly, Jail's dead. There is a buyback from Korok, and everybody on Team Liquid is on the chase as EG's on the run. Uh-oh, Fear. Fear is being seen as Vendetta being stolen. Vendetta's gonna be stolen, and I think they are gonna get the kill. No, 3-man Spike Carapace. He's still on the run. Force Staff is not gonna be down. 3-man Impale. Fear. Oh my God, he's gonna survive this one. Holy crap, Fear is making some sensational plays. Force Staff's coming down, but Korok's back. I think this is where you go for the bot racks or you go for the mid.
Another huge RP steal by Mojo Storm Stout. Him on Rubik is just ridiculous. Like, that was a great RP by Demon, one of the very few good ones that we've seen, and immediately just countering it up and immediately negating it with that huge counter RP by Mojo. So, fantastic play from this Rubik.
Well, instead of a Rax, they're going to go for the Roshan. Unfortunately, Korok is now chilling up on the high ground, and that's going to give more than ample enough for Sexy Bamboe to get in position. Their buyback from PA as well. Roshan's low. Looks like Pounce has been used to go on the low ground. And where's the initiation going to be coming in? Firefly, giving them that little vision. Are they going to go on the clock? Clock is not worth a target to go on. They really, again, need to kill Korok. They need to kill TC. But the buyback from being used by Jo means, again, a very, very dicey situation. Anybody could still win this game right now. But it seems like EG slowly edging ahead, even despite that teamfight defeat on the mid lane.
Are they going to go for Roshan? That is the question, though. Which team is going to do it? Looks like Liquid's team has vision from the Clockwork for Jo. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Jo is starting it right now.
Yeah, Boba, though, does have the Lifestealer inside of him. He's looking for the initiation. I think Demon is what he wants. Blink Strike back out here by Jo. Clockwork Coke, do they find... No, Beat is gonna get blown the hell up, and TC in the middle of everything, they get that one kill. Do you now go for the Roshan? No, Bad Rider trying to initiate, gets caught up by the Shadow Blade. RP is gonna whiff. Is RP being stolen? Yes, it is, my god. Mojo Storm, the M God, doing work. Korok now on high ground. Again, he's always on the high ground. Demon, though, he's gonna get picked up by TC as well. That's the one key mistake that perhaps they're waiting for. Jo has no buyback. Forget the Roshan. I think Team Liquid is gonna go down mid and take even the throne. Yeah, in fact, they have realized that as well. No, they're gonna go about the creep equilibrium. So look at all these range creep being there. Fair's gonna try to defend as much as he can, but really 1v4, your best carry without the buyback. Oh, he's gonna get picked off as well. I think we're gonna go to DMG, Merlini. This is
definitely gonna be game 3. So just again, fantastic play by Rubik. It was dead even until this fight in middle, and then him stealing the RP, using it on Jo, and then forcing out a buyback, and then getting another RP. Wow, just amazing play by this stand-in.
Yeah, and of course, credit to where credits Wilbova initiating, finding Beatus. Beatus thought he was safe. And honestly, you don't expect you being initiated on this particular spot. They got picked off. Fair calls GG. And we're gonna go to game number 3 between these two hyped up American team. We got a series, and again, Slark, OP hero, 200 or 100% winning rate. When Slark's playing it, we're gonna see some nerf.
More
maybe.
sample size.
Yeah, I know, man. This is pretty insane. All right, game 2 is in the book. Team Liquid even up series, 1 apiece, and this is just the first best of 3 series. We're gonna have another one for the replay bracket. I believe that was Alliance versus Dignitas. I think that's wrong, but after that, we'll talk a little bit more about the next series. But right now, game 3 of Team Liquid versus EG is coming up next. You don't want to miss it.